Greetings, everyone. Listen up, Utah. We're about to shock Speed Tech Performance with a massive surprise, and we're having a blast while we're at it. Their response was, "We're only 100 miles away. Why don't you come see us?" Upon informing them of my need to visit Las Vegas, several distinct concepts were under discussion. Sure, and now we've arrived. Legend has it that Gas Monkey Garage's charismatic founder transformed a collection of old, rusty cars into a veritable kingdom. However, he was involved in a legal battle over one of his Gas Monkey branded businesses. On top of attempting to breach his contract, the claim stated that he slandered someone. Because of the dramatic turn of events, everyone is wondering what went wrong between Richard and Gas Monkey Bar and Grill. What gave rise to this legal dispute? The real reason Richard Rawlings was sued is waiting for you to come and see us. The legendary work ethic of Richard Rawlings has made him a household name in the automotive industry. Richard puts in a lot of time and effort in both his business and television projects. The fact that he is fearless and enjoys the limelight allowed him to become well known beyond his garage. Nevertheless, he was hit with a massive $6 million 0 cents lawsuit in June 2018 by Gas Monkey Bar and Grill, a restaurant that bore his name. However, may you tell me the backstory? Returning to 2013 will reveal the truth. Richard's Gas Monkey Garage brand was still in its early stages at the time. He spotted an opportunity to expand his name beyond garages after his success in the auto industry. After that, the idea for Gas Monkey Bar and Grill blossomed. You used to sell cars and motorcycles, and now you run a restaurant. How exactly does this happen? Richard was asked. It's not hard at all. After that, I intended to launch a restaurant and bar where every man who fixes motorcycles and automobiles in his garage would be able to put a grill and refrigerator in his backyard. Put simply, it was logical. I simply required a larger refrigerator and barbecue. Great, I adore it. And more friends. Due to his greater interest in automobiles than in restaurants, Richard decided he did not want to be the one to run the show. He opted to form a partnership with other business people to jointly own and operate the company. As soon as Richard informed the backers that they could use the Gas Monkey name and image, the task was completed. This means that he received payment from investors to license his name, but he was not involved in the day-to-day operations of the bar. It was only 2 miles away from Gas Monkey Garage when the business opened its doors in September 2013. It seemed like Richard would have a smooth ride at first. The bar was a great fit for Richard's brand because of its energetic atmosphere, food, drinks, live music, and car-themed decorations. The bar swiftly became a popular hangout spot as many of his friends started frequenting it. On occasion, Richard would also make an appearance. True story, he celebrated his birthday there in 2014, posed for photos, and maintained the Gas Monkey buzz all day long. In reality, though, things weren't looking good behind the scenes. During the startup phase, Richard allegedly caused a lot of trouble, according to a reliable source. The bartender Tim Hankhouse complained about Richard in an email he sent in May 2013. According to him, Richard acted like a spoilt 13-year-old and was impolite to the construction workers, repeatedly interrupting their work. When things escalated out of control, the bar's managing partner, Daniel Flighty, had to physically remove Richard from the building site. You might be surprised to hear this, but Richard was not the bar's owner. Since he had merely licensed the name, Flighty could fire him. Since Richard disliked the bar owner, things remained pretty much the same even after the establishment opened. According to the complaint, Richard repeatedly attempted to obstruct the bar's operations when he had no business doing so. They saw Richard as an obstructive, but Richard likely felt justified in caring about the brand bearing his name. By 2015, tensions between Richard and the backers had escalated to a critical point. He started to inquire about the bar's finances and mentioned that he wasn't receiving complete records of the spending. In an effort to be forthright, Richard emailed Daniel Flighty and asked for clarification. Daniel informed him that, if he so desired, he could personally review the financial records. Subsequently, Richard implied his lack of trust in the bar manager by saying he doubted the existence of the records. Richard allegedly trash-talked Daniel at the bar, as stated in the claim. Because of this, on July 21, 2016, the bar manager emailed him and said, "You were calling me a liar for being dishonest and stealing from you, and even after 2 years have passed, I will repeat, you are welcome to review the records at any time." Following this, Richard responded with the message, "My mistake for mixing drinking and feeling bad. I apologize for that." Many people then assumed the issue had been resolved. But Richard made an attempt to acquire the bar outright in 2016 so that he could run Gas Monkey Live and the Gas Monkey Bar and Grill as his own business. He allegedly lacked the necessary funds, which caused the deal to fall through. Since the sale fell through, the owners continued to do as they pleased, and Richard had no idea what was happening. The 2017 acquisition of Gas Monkey Bar and Grill and Gas Monkey Live by an unidentified buyer, however, caused problems. Following that major transaction, the company's trajectory may have changed. The transaction was about to close when Richard intervened. As the claim goes, he ruined the deal. A lot of wrath was directed at Daniel Fleety and the other partners. Richard allegedly made derogatory comments about them in response to their assertions that he was enraged over his failure to purchase the bar in 2016. The email that Richard sent in response to the bar manager's inquiry regarding the rumors served as the basis for the case. He allegedly attempted to avoid his obligations under the license agreement by slandering them and spreading false information that had a negative impact on their business. On June 14, 2018, Gas Monkey Bar and Grill and Daniel Fleety sued Richard Rawlings in Dallas County Court, seeking $6 million, 0 cents. The pub insisted that Richard's antics were centered around his business and his fame on television rather than just him. Richard was accused of engaging in dishonest behavior, and the company sought $6 million, 0 cents in damages to compensate for the money lost due to the failed sale, harm to their reputation, and other losses. Contrarily, Richard was not one to brush it off. He was represented by attorney Austin Champion, who stated that the case was an effort to maintain the Gas Monkey license and had no basis in fact. According to Richard's legal team, the bar violated the terms of their agreement right from the start. As a result of the court's back and forth, a new development occurred in March 2019. Richard filed a countersuit against the bar, claiming that they had stolen his trademark. A lot of serious issues were raised by his lawsuit. In late 2018, Richard initially announced that he had revoked the bar's license. Tired of their constant bickering over power and money, he threatened to revoke their use of his brand name. Still, the Gas Monkey emblem remained on display at the pub as if nothing had transpired. They maintained the signs and continued posting on social media. His second point was that the bar had done several things without his knowledge or consent. The bar's early 2019 promotional efforts, for instance, included a partnership with a whiskey brand. The bar appeared to be collaborating with the whiskey brand on social media after associating the Gas Monkey name with that brand. Richard stated he did not approve of that because it was inconsistent with his brand's image. The fact that Richard insisted the bar hosted sexy events was another red flag. According to him, the bar's unpleasant events undermined the welcoming atmosphere he had laboriously cultivated for families. He claimed that this violated the conditions of their initial agreement and made Gas Monkey appear bad. Thirdly, Richard claimed that the bar was indebted to him for unpaid license fees. The licensing agreement stipulated that the bar would be compensated for the use of his name. Richard stated in the case that he terminated the agreement before the bar stopped paying him. The owners, he believed, were exploiting his fame without paying him a dime. Subsequently, he filed a $1 million 0 cents lawsuit against Gas Monkey Bar and Grill. The legal battle didn't drag on indefinitely, though, despite the fact that both parties sued. In August of 2019, the parties reached a mutual understanding and jointly filed for dismissal. Gas Monkey Bar and Grill rebranded itself following the lawsuit, but the specifics of the rebranding were kept under wraps. The bar changed its name from Gas Monkey to Amplified when it reopened in 2021, shifting its focus from food to music. Equally, Richard began to distance himself from the eatery. In 2020, Gas Monkey Live was closed, and in 2024, Gas Monkey Sturgis was opened.